owner, together with Jorik, the founder of FH Moms, a social enterprise that empowers Filipino moms to grow personally and professionally. Your vision is amazing for the moms. The other half of the Para-Paraan with Salmon podcast, please welcome MK. Now let's all take our seats. Ako naman ang mag-i-interview sa inyo. Usually kasi kayo kapag sa podcast.
Oo nga, right? Ba pala tapos post pa yung mga nasa harapan mo?
Actually, kanina pa nga ako nagdo-double identity dito. So with that, thank you for being here today. Now that we've spoken with Salmon's campaign ambassadors, I have a few questions that we'd like to know, especially that you are experts in the field and because you are the hosts of Salmon's in-house podcast. Again, if you guys do not know, merong in-house podcast ang Salmon. So feel free to share your expert opinion about these topics and what you think Salmon's contribution is for each of them. So yung una kong tanong, it's the role of financial planning and literacy because again, it's very different being financially aware to being financially secured to being financially confident. So financial literacy is often seen as just knowing the terms, alam natin, but it's really about behavior, like what you said. So tell us the single most important action that bridges the gap between being financially aware and being and becoming financially confident. Let's start with MK.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for having me here. Siguro na for me, what's common about us, Lily Jorik, is that we're both breadwinners, no? And we're both millennials, so nasa adulting talaga na phase. And then, as a mom, no, it's very important for me. I think I was forced to study or at least understand financial literacy because as a woman or as a mom, you're expected to do the budgeting and all that. Pero one thing that I realized about learning financial literacy is that it's not about the terms and all that. It's really about the behavior. And we're talking about small acts such as, by just documenting it, by making sure that you track all of the things that you earn, you spend. As breadwinners, it's very important because we're not just earning for our family, but also for our other family members because we also support my dad. My mom passed away at a very young age, so it's important for me to be able to track all of the finances.
Ibang klase din kasi kapag breadwinner, MK. And with that also, I wanted to ask you, Jorik, the same question. If there's one singular action or maybe like just at a large or at a mass, ano yung kailangan gawin ng mga tao in order to not just be financially aware, like usually, di ba, babasahin lang yung terms, ay, parang dito meron, like research, some key terms that they think, okay, this is enough para makapag-invest ako dito, compared to being financially confident.
I think ang pinaka-importante talaga is you have to start small and be consistent. Lalo na sa panahon natin ngayon na marami ng mga scams na nangyayari, di ba? Kailangan natin maging vigilant din kung saan natin invest yung money natin. And sa part naman natin, mostly dun sa mga minimum wage earner na halos wala na natitirang pera minsan dun sa mga dahil sa bills, expenses, essentials na nagagastos nila. Importante na kahit pa paano, if you start small, kasi kahit pa paano pag pinipon mo naman yan, lalaki naman siya. And yun yung magbibigay sa'yo, of course, ng security someday na pag tinalikan mo yung savings mo, okay, kahit na small lang yung naipon ko, at least, meron ako naipon, kaya so wala. Kasi yun yung mali ko when I was young. Nung first job ko, wala sa mindset ko yung mag-save. Parang kasi sa minimum wage earner that time, wala pa yung pera ubus na. Because of the essentials, bills, and yung mga gastos na papasok sa'yo, diba? So wala talaga yung savings. So, lately lang naman napasok sa mindset ko yung pagbuo ng savings. Parang katulad ni Samuel G. kanina, marami rin talagang mga digital banks na pinaglalagay ng pera. But you have to be careful kasi iba-iba ng terms yan, dapat alam mo. And of course, dapat may idea ka rin kung ano yung pinapasok mo, investment and savings.
You're right, because it's different. Financial knowledge to financial literacy, and like what you both said, financial behavior. It takes practice, it takes discipline. Now in the Philippines, many people live paycheck to paycheck. Alam po natin yan lahat. Now, how do you approach the idea of saving for people who are currently in this circumstance like sinabi mo, papunta pa lang yung cheque, bayad na siya sa utang mo because there are so many expenses filed in your list and you just feel overwhelmed. Some people here, they will feel immobile. Hindi na sila makakagalaw kasi ano ba tayo magsisimula kasi wala na tayong papambayad.
Siguro, as a raketera myself, when I was working in the corporate I feel na lahat talaga ng sahod ko napupunta lang sa pambayad ng utang. And then when I transitioned to becoming a work-at-home mom, that was the time that I felt empowered din talaga about my finances because I have extra money to save and to spend to other things. So before, my mindset was, okay, I have this salary and all that, and then, okay, if there's something left, then I can probably save, but it never happened, right? But when I have more than enough, because I have a lot of bracket as a raketera, I have, a different mindset already, such as, investing, real estate, and then having different kind of savings, time deposit for my kids and all that. So I feel more empowered, all because I've earned it. And if there's something that I wanted to share, especially those who are still in that scenario, you don't have to wait to earn big to be able to save. Again, you can just start small and save whatever you can, so that you can practice having that financial freedom as well.
Again, starting small will lead to something big as financial freedom. Right? How about for you, Jordan?
Yes, kanina yung na-mention nga ni MK na you have to start small, lalo na dun sa mga minimum wage earner. Kasi, again, bukod dun sa mga bills na binabayaran, essentials, may mga taxes pa na bawas yan, di ba? And usually, sa bansa natin, yung mga minimum wage earner, hindi talaga siya sapat for a breadwinner or a provider na isa lang yung trabaho nila minsan, unlike us, na parang kami as raketeros na content creator and host, maraming source of income, di ba? So, paano nga ba papasok yung savings or pag-i-invest sa mga tao ng mga nag-base lang sa mga minimum wage or sa paycheck na hindi pa nakakawakan yung nauubos na? Importante talaga na kahit paano, kahit dun sa mga simpleng sukli or small amount na itatabi mo. Kasi eventually, again, pag pinagsama-sama mo naman yan, katagalan lumalaki. So, that's the time na importante ma-build mo lang yung habit ng pagsisave ng money para at least makasanayan mo siya and eventually lumaki. And again, start small lang. Huwag kang mag-pressure kasi doon naman lahat ng bumbi sa'yo.
You know what, Jorik, since we're at the topic din ng podcast, usually kasi pinag-uusapan sa podcast, if you guys know, yung mga myth, yung mga sabi-sabi in Filipino. So, what myths about money do you hear most of the time? Or maybe you witness from your friends, colleagues, sabi nila ganito, sabi nila ganyan. What do you encounter most of the time?
Sa akin kasi yung mga old school, like yung lola at lola mo na yung pera dapat meron ka pa rin daw hawak ng old cash. Laging lola ko nagtatago pa ng pera sa ilalim ng bunga niya. Na minsan kailangan din siya mag-stay kasi hindi sila marunong mag-bangko, di ba? Pero again, hindi naman siya ganun ka-safe din. Kasi, di ba, hindi natin alam anong pwedeng mangyari. Unlike kung meron nakalagay sa bangko or for example, digital banking na accessible naman sa lahat. Kung meron tong internet at phone. Pero again, hindi naman siya applicable for everyone like dun sa mga matatanda. Diba? So para sa akin, before, pinaniniwalaan ko siya. Not until I discovered yung mga digital banking na bukod sa safe na siya, at least tumutubo pa yung pera na ilalagay mo. So I think yung security talaga yung pinaka-importante doon. And kailangan din matutunan ng iba't ibang generation na pwede nilang ma-apply sa kanila yun, not just for our generation.
Now, MK, talking about the Para-Paraan podcast, ano yung mga most interesting topics that you guys have talked about and also will talk about that can actually encourage our viewers to learn more about this podcast with Salmon?
So what's nice about Para-Paraan with Salmon is that we have guests from different generations. So we have someone who's a Gen Z, and then a millennial, a Gen X. So nakakatawa because you'll learn a lot of financial literacy concepts from them. And then there's this one guest that we have who was a Gen Z, Chinese din siya, and super early niya rin talaga namulat when it comes to financial literacy. And it's so inspiring kasi nga, in my case, in our case, ng mga Pilipino, parang we don't really remember na talagang binubugbog kami about financial literacy ng mga terms and concepts. Even sa schools, di ba, hindi naman ganun ka masyado. So, what I learned from that conversation with one of our guests is that walang age talaga when it comes to financial literacy. And I remember, I also applied the same concept to my son then. So after that, I got really inspired. And then, from time to time, I would teach him some financial literacy na mga ideas and how he can earn at a very young age.
You're right. It's never too late, but it's also never too early. Now, I just started following your podcast, and I must say it's truly beneficial and also entertaining, like sinabi mo nga, because it reinforces the idea that Salmon is for the demographic of all. Like what you said, may Gen X, may Gen Z, may Millennial. Everybody deserves to bank on Salmon. So now, please tell us more about the Salmon podcast before we bid farewell. Jordan, muna.
Our podcast is about money. Of course, we talk about savings, how to invest, even yung mga utang. Na hindi usually napapag-usapan sa mga podcast. Kasi alam na natin most of the podcast, meron dyan about politics, about love life, about in general. Pero bira. Actually, nung in-offer nga sa akin, kakakala ko kasi sobrang fan ako ng volleyball. Sabi ko, ay, bakit yung podcast about volleyball? Tapos nakuha nila ako as host kasi host ako sa mga celebrity events like, press con, mall show. Sabi ko, baka about celebrity. Nung in-offer sa akin ito sa Ball Pera, sabi ko, dahil mukha kong pera, kaya in-offer sa akin. But actually, I just realized na parang lahat pala dapat tayo ay maging expert pagdating sa pera. Kasi part siya ng buhay natin. At maganda dito na meron tayong idea kasi, again, yung pera, gamit natin araw-araw, yung pagsisave, importante yan for our future. And sa generation ngayon, alam natin na karamihan, sa mga generation ngayon, masyadong magagastos, diba? And masayang topic siguro na-encounter ko dito sa podcast namin, yung nag-guest kami ng licensed broker. Kasi nandun ako sa part ng life ko, nakakabili ko lang din ng condominium, pero nag-iisip ako, tama ba yung ginawa ko? Kasi parang sinasabi ng mga, diba hindi, mag-rent ka muna para makita mo kung okay ka dun sa place. Yung parents ko, sabihin naman na hindi, bumili ka kasi masasayang lang kung nag-renta ka. Pero nung nagkaroon kami ng guest ng financial broker, wala namang palang mali sa pag-renta. At hindi din naman mali kung hindi ka kagad bibili ng property mo. Kasi siyempre, mag-gaano ka ng time, ng effort, ng money. So, iba't ibang mga tao yung nakasama namin, nakasalamuha. At kami as host, natututo rin kami doon sa mga life stories na sinishare nila at share din namin sa mga audience and listeners namin.
Again, kasi mga Pilipino mas talagang nakakaintindi tayo. Pag may kasamang chika, may kasamang kwento, and of course, may kasamang background stories. Diba? So MK also, what is mostly entertaining about your podcast and gano'n siya ka-beneficial to our viewers?
So, as host, sobrang natuwa kami because we felt that we got like free consultations from the real experts.
Yun ang bonus.
Yes. Kasi kami, breadwinners, content creators, and we have a lot of graphics as well. So, hearing Steve's stories from these people, sobrang nakaka-bless. And I'd like to share then about, getting a house. Kasi I also got our house and then farm. And then, I never asked from someone who's expert about getting this kind of investments. So, I feel na the podcast that we have with Salmon, it's a blessing to all the Filipinos. Kapag napakinggan nila, napanood nila. Kasi sa amin, na dumaan na sa lahat ng scam, lahat ng ibang experience, good and bad, we still learn a lot from the podcast. So, we just hope na more listeners din talaga will benefit from our podcast.
Kasi entertaining na nga, educational pa. So, palakpakan naman natin ang ating para-paraan podcast host. Again, pwede invite mo so that a lot of us can watch it na talaga makapagsubaybay kami, Jorik.
Yes, please stream niyo po sa YouTube.